Now, I think we have an Ask the Vicar.
How is the resurrection relevant after 2,000 years?
Perfect.
How is the resurrection relevant after 2,000 years? Well, as I was saying earlier, that was kind of what the sermon was about. In case you missed it, I'll just give you the highlights again. But I think to put it in a sentence, I do remember as a child, I must have been about 9, and it was already about my 6th visit to the cinema to see The Sound of Music. And it was a kind of family ritual. But I do remember that first moment when Captain Von Trapp blows the whistle. Do you remember? And all the children comes racing down the stairs, and it's all tyrannical father kind of moment. And Sister Maria has the temerity to kind of nudge him and say, I'm not sure this is the best way to be a parent. I remember the person in front of me in the cinema leaning to their spouse and saying, she marries him in the end. Which was, it's only about 15 minutes into the film, and it's, quite a long film. So long that it used to have an intermission, even in the cinema. Do you remember those days? It's that about the resurrection. It may have happened 2,000 years ago. I mentioned how self-absorbed we are in the sermon. We think everything has to be about our time now to matter. But what that story about The Sound of Music shows us is what the resurrection shows us, which is we've been revealed the end of the story. We've been shown how the story ends. So however bad the story gets, and it's got pretty bad at times this year, we've seen the end of the story. We've got a sneak preview. So that's the relevance to me of the resurrection 2,000 years later. And I don't think it's ever going to stop being relevant in that sense. However long the story goes on, we've seen the end. We stand for God's blessing.